I'm going to be presenting today my elementary school continuous school improvement plan. This is a 2020 school improvement plan for my elementary school, which I have been observing and seeing how we can continuously do a improvement plan to progress monitor and also to come up with new and creative ideas at the school. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the school breakdown. For an ethnicity breakdown of the school's population, for this elementary school we have 70% African American that attend the school. We have 20% of white students that attend the school. We have 3% that are multi-race, Asian, American Indian, and then we also have the 7% of the Latino. Now we're going to be looking at our test scores. For this actual school, I broke it down from an ELA standpoint or an academic standpoint, English standpoint, and then also mathematics. So what we're seeing right here at this elementary school is that we have a lot of beginning learners. This is a 2019 breakdown from Georgia report cards on the actual elementary school. We noticed that at our school, we are learning with a lot of beginners, going to the development stage to proficiency. Which ties in right about with our district in Muskogee County and then also with the state of Georgia. Moving on from the mathematics over here, we're going to see that this school is actually not beginning, and they're actually moving more into the developmental stage of the actual education purpose for mathematics for the test scores. We're actually a little bit below the Muskogee County set criteria for what Muskogee County averages, and we're actually above for the state of Georgia. Now, what we're going to talk about right here is breaking down those chapters and seeing how the school improvement plan bases upon what the book is actually saying compared to what we're actually trying to do in our school improvement plan. The process that we're going to be looking at is going to be from a district administration, teacher, student, and community breakdown. We feel as if I can get the district support and then get administration on board with district views, we're going to have some pretty good success. We need full teacher buy-in when looking at this, which is going to transition into our students and then is also going to be seen in our community with the culture and climate of our school. Now, the first thing we're going to see establishing the process still, here's some keynotes from the actual book. Coming straight from it right here, you want commitment and ownership by school's main stakeholders. So what that's meaning right there is that our leadership team. We really want to see a motivated approach when it comes to leadership from our leadership team. We want them to set expectations, be clear cut about those expectations, really present them, number one, positively. We don't want to overwhelm our actual staff at our school, but we really want committed people put in place for our leadership team that are going to be processing our matrix and then also implementing those changes throughout the school. Impactful decision making, like I said, we really want them to get feedback, get that feedback, break it down, and make impactful decisions that are going to move our school in a better culture, in a better climate, and in a better position to succeed for our students. Professional development on how to work as a team, that's what I'm seeing that they've also stated from the school breakdown. Now, possible implications that we're going to do in our school improvement plan are very similar. Okay, like I was saying, we want feedback and database tracking. We're really going to look at that data, establish what our matrix or what our school improvement plan goals are, and then base that data to move forward in the process to see how we can better officiate our education to our students. We're asking the professional development classes at district level, meaning that we want our leadership team to work as what they say, a fine-oiled machine. We really want to make sure that they're working as a team, united in every decision. Even though sometimes we might not be united, we want to make sure that when we present this to the staff that we are preaching the importance of being united and staying together on this decision and moving in the right direction. Community involvement and buy-in, like I was saying right there from the very beginning. Now we're trying to build a culture at the school which is a good climate of positive learning. So what we're going to be trying to do is establish more protocols and put in procedure the way that we believe that it's going to help out the students, the teachers, and also our community. Moving on to clarity now. Still the same process. We're going through the district, administration, teacher, student, community. You're going to see that throughout the slides quite a bit. Just kind of a way for me to really think and instill to you that this is our process, these are our steps, and this is how we're going to reach our goals. Now, for the clarity of this is kind of coming straight from the book, again, from the reader's, from the author's point of view. Clear development and understanding of the mission, core values, core beliefs in the school. So what the author's saying is they want a clear-cut message of what we are trying to do, what our mission is, what our beliefs are, and what our values are. That is a clear cut from leadership is what the book's trying to say. Create a document for the school mission as well as core values and belief. This is the matrix that I was talking about, and you're going to see it in my coming up slides, what we're actually trying to do. They want it to be seen around the school from the author's standpoint. The author is wanting this to be demonstrated maybe on a poster or something hanging around the school. That way everybody understands what they're expected to do, and there is no confusion from a student standpoint, from a teacher standpoint, administration, or also maybe a parent coming into the school. We want that to be very seen and very visible. The mission must be lived through teachers and administration every day. So we're going to be the role models. It's pretty much what the book is trying to tell me right here, and we're going to see in the next slide that we actually do agree with some of what this book is saying from a school improvement standpoint. All right, steps needed for our elementary school to set a school improvement plan goal for the clarity, making sure that all teachers are on board. Data needs to be presented on mission goals and feedback towards mission. So what that's saying is every meeting that we have, we need to be analyzing, we need to be breaking down the data, and we need to be giving that out to our teachers so that we can get feedback towards our mission and maybe how we're doing in our mission, if we need to step up in a certain area. If we feel that we're succeeding, we want to make sure that when we're celebrating, we also want to make sure that we are getting that critical feedback from the teachers, critical feedback from the leadership team so they can analyze that data. Hard copies of mission need to be placed around the school. Like I said, we're taking that pretty much straight from the book of what we're wanting to do. We want no confusion. As we said, clarity. We want to make sure, or clarify, we want to make sure that there is universal understanding around the school of what we are expected to do. Lesson plans wise, inside the classroom, what our goal is and how we can get to that overall mission statement right there for our school improvement plan. All right, mission needs to be shown by the teachers. Again, just like what the book said, role models. Okay, we are the number one motivator in the school. The teachers, we spend the most time with the students. We need to make sure that we are presenting and carrying ourselves the way that we want them to. So if we expect this, we have high expectations for our students, well, we need to have high expectations for ourselves as teachers as well. Moving on right now, we're going to be identifying essential student learning. So this is kind of beyond the actual lessons of the student learning, trying to figure out the rigor, high achievement, high standards. From the book right here, we have tight alignment in the curriculum. What that's trying to say from a book standpoint is universal lesson plans, possibly trying to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We don't want any confusion on what the expectations are from an academic standpoint. It's just going to kind of help the teachers have a relaxed environment and a positive learning environment. High rigor, like I said, we want our students to, number one, know that it's okay to fail, but also set that to where they are succeeding to not get them, I guess, negatively motivated to learn. We wanted a positive learning environment. We wanted a very challenging learning environment from the book standpoint. Use of technology in the classrooms and planning. So getting a universal template out to our teachers is what the book is trying to say for our lesson plans. It's easy, simple turn-in process electronically. We want to get the new technology into the students' hands so that way they can really move and motivate in the right direction with that technology. Now, what we are going to do from our standpoint at the school, more professional development opportunities at the school. We're basing that off mostly our leadership team. We really want them to have that opportunity of leadership and really getting it out to the staff of what technology and maybe lesson plan templates, better ideas to simplify our education behind the scenes of our process of not overwhelming the teachers and giving them anxiety when it comes to the, I guess, templates for our lesson plan based resources. We want to make sure we're giving these teachers as much resources as we can to make their jobs easier from a leadership standpoint. We want to be able for the teachers to come and ask questions for us, and note that it is not on the administration always. It is an administration lead right here, but we want our stakeholders definitely leading the way and answering those questions from our teachers first. High expectations for teachers and student learning, meaning that our teachers need to be up to date when it comes to the learning modules they're trying to create for these students. They need to be using the technology, they need to be using the up-to-date trends when it comes to these key subjects in school, so we can really drive rigor from our students and expect them to learn and really overcome any challenges inside the classroom that we see that they are possible of doing. Professional development for teaching technology. This is now more for the teachers. We want to make sure that they are up to date. If they're using a Word document, or if they're using a PowerPoint or Excel or any type of their smart boards right now, we want to make sure that they understand how to use that technology in ways that it benefits them, it benefits the students, and it also puts their life at ease because they're not having so much stress when it comes to making those lesson plans. Now we're moving on to the process right here where it's a study. So now we're kind of analyzing, we're looking over our data, what we have come up with, and making sure that it is on point and there is no misunderstanding. So from an author's standpoint, when it's coming to this, examine the data to provide direct for the rooted cause. So we want to examine the appropriate data. That's the biggest thing. We don't want to just look at every data that comes out. We want to look at the data that is going to influence our decisions on how we're going to move our school in the right direction for success for our teachers, administration, and our staff, and our students, of course. Hear from leadership team. Okay, we want to hear from leadership team constantly. Now, either that's through individual conversations, that's through simple emails, that's through faculty meetings where they're getting up and presenting these ideas and the movements of what we're trying to do in our school to create that climate and also to create that positive school culture in the school. So at this point, we want to also set the expectations. High expectations like we talked about with high rigor. All right, but we want to set those expectations off of the data after we have examined it as a leadership team and making sure that these goals that we're trying to set for us are, number one, not too easy, but also we want to make sure that they are not unobtainable. We won't want to set goals to negatively affect the culture or climate in the school, which could happen if you do overextend your goals. Now, moving on right here to the study again, we're going to make sure that we are doing our part in the school to keep the teacher and the student calm. Like I was saying, we want to make sure that we are really putting them at ease and making sure that there's no anxiety in that for full clarity by the teacher's standpoint. We don't want to go into it and we're 3 weeks into the school year and they don't know what our mission is, or they don't know exactly what our core values are or our core beliefs. We want to make sure first day pre-planning that we have a good understanding, keeping that teacher calm, helping them out from a leadership standpoint in any way possible. Data needs to be reviewed at every opportunity. Like I was saying that last slide, from the author's points, we're going right along with it for our school improvement plan when it comes to the study portion. And it's going to be that every faculty meeting, every opportunity that we get, maybe it's just going through the hallway, that we are reiterating right here and giving this data to the teachers. That we're saying maybe that we see a little bit of uptrend right now from a behavioral standpoint, that maybe students are messing around in the hallway. We want to make sure that we're monitoring, being vigilant right here, and working as a team to give that data to them, to the teachers, so they know that they might need to keep an eye out in the hallway from a behavioral standpoint, that we might have had some behavioral incidences. Continued feedback from stakeholders. When we say stakeholders, we're meaning our leadership team, but we're also meaning everybody involved in the school. I consider our leadership team very vital and important, but the teachers are just as important with the crucial feedback. We need to continue to hear feedback, and then more feedback so we can break down that data. We can ask the questions. We want to create kind of a controversy up front, and then we want to unify it as a family and come to the best decision for our school and the school's culture. Now, reflect, all right, same thing. We're still going from the district, administration, teacher, student, community process right here. Again, from the book, this is what they are recommending, is internal and external scanning process. We're going to have a leadership team that leads and empowers others. Trust the process, all right? These are the three main takeaways from the chapter right here from Reflect. And you're going to see quite a bit of that from our standpoint of what we're trying to implement right here from what the steps need to be taken at our school on our school improvement plan. We're going to use up-to-date data when it comes to testing and behaviors, just like I was saying before. We want to make sure that we are using the most up-to-date so we can better prepare our teachers, like I was saying that previous slide, behavior. We have a new PBIS system in place this year at the school, and we might be able to monitor and track that behavior and identify and isolate it to a problem in the hallway. We want to make sure from a leadership standpoint that we are giving that information out to the teachers so they can be more vigilant in the actual hallway. Leaders talk to empower staff and uplift. Remember that you are all in this together. Remember that it is a family and there's an ultimate goal. If everybody is being positive, uplifting, and also really empowering that teacher to hold their end of the bargain, making sure that they don't give up on number one, themselves or their students, and also their family, which is also their coworkers. Need to make sure that the leaders are being very vigilant and active in the school. Stay up to date with trends, with teaching, with teachers' classes about PD. We want to make sure that setting the high expectations again, we need to be up to date when it comes to the actual presentation of how we are relaying this information to the students so they do not get bored in the instruction and we do not get complacent when it comes to setting the bar. We want to make sure our teaching, we want to really set the bar high, and complacency does not have a factor when it comes to that. We need to make sure that we're continuing with high rigor in our instruction. Now the next step is going to be planning. We're breaking down that chapter right here. Again, you're going to see my circle wheel right here from a district and community standpoint. Now from the book standpoint, what they're saying, what we're really focusing on planning right now, now we're getting ready to put pencil to paper. We want clear expectations on what should happen in the classroom. We want clear understanding of goals and how to obtain them. Constant communication on vision for all members and staff. These are recommendations from our book, and again, you're going to see that these pretty much co-align exactly with what our school improvement goals are. Now, steps needed. Continued communication with stakeholders. You're going to hear me continue to say this just about through every slide. A big thing when it comes to school improvement is communication. Constant communication from your stakeholders to your teachers, all the way down there is no least amount of person in your school, but let's just say the janitors. We want to even make sure that they are on the actual page as an administrator. They want to know it that way. If they see it in the hallway or if they see it in the classroom, they can praise or they can maybe change that behavior that we're seeing. Clear, detailed destination. Again, clarity. We want every teacher to understand what the mission for our school is, what the core values are, what the actual core beliefs are. If we have one or two teachers in the school that don't understand that, well, that's where our stakeholders right here need to make sure they're communicating with those teachers. It might be a first-year teacher and our stakeholder might be a 20-year vet. Well, that 20-year vet has a better understanding of what goes on in the classroom to where they might be able to come and mentor and give a clear description of what we want for our students and what actually our elementary school is. Talk with all stakeholders in the community. Now, when you are doing a school improvement plan, you're outsourcing and reaching out to other parts of the community that can better reach and maybe also celebrate when you do something well. So we want to make sure that we are getting in with our community stakeholders, maybe our churches, maybe some large businesses or small businesses around our school. That way they know and then we can celebrate. Okay, we can also do small things for these students when they do something well. We can praise them. That's the biggest thing. We want to make sure that our community knows how well we're doing in our school improvement plan. Now the do, again, right here, district to community process. We're going to make sure that we're going from a district administration, teacher, student. We're all on the same school improvement plan. Now notes again, recommendations right here from our book, where school improvement is not easy, but results will follow. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. Nothing we're doing in education is going to be easy, but it is all worth it at the end of the day. School improvement plan needs full buy-in by all staff. Keep staff buy-in and celebrate. Okay, we want to make sure that we're celebrating. All right, now steps needed. We're going to follow along pretty much right with the book when it goes to this. Involvement and openness with information. Okay, if you don't understand something, what we're asking right now is that you make sure that you come and you ask somebody, and that's where it's going to go back to that communication point that I was making. Anything with an improved school improvement plan to benefit, you're going to have to continue to communicate. Keep everyone informed throughout the process. So if anything does happen to change, say if we do have a hiccup in the road right there, and maybe we're a couple of weeks behind from getting this in, we want to make sure that the teachers understand that, or if we're ahead 2 weeks in advance, and we've done such an excellent job in our school improvement plan that maybe we need to take a little bit of a back seat and let these test scores and give us the updated data. We need to be upfront and vigilant in making sure that we're getting those teachers that information so they understand what to do. Now, celebrate. This is key and crucial. You need to keep uplifting the staff. You need to keep uplifting the students. So anytime you can celebrate, you need to make sure that you're doing that. You need to make sure that you are informing the parents, which comes back to a community standpoint. You need to celebrate with the parents. You need to have plenty of opportunities to acknowledge the positive learning environment and also the positivity and the hard work of the students in the school. Conclusion again. Biggest thing that you're going to see right here are these slides that keep popping up, because it's just a constant reminder of how we are working, that we're all in this together, a big circle, the round table to say. Now, conclusion right here, our school improvement plan, and what we want to take away is visual expectations around the school and through staff. So if our staff is doing like what we said and being a good role model, that should be enough for our visual, but we're going to take it a step higher, and we're going to make sure that we're putting those posters up. So if somebody from the community does walk in, there's a clear-cut expectation of what we're wanting for our mission, core values, and also core beliefs. Clear across the board expectations. Again, going back, we can even, maybe if some student is deciding to misbehave in the hallway, or there's confusion in the classroom on what we're doing, we want to make sure that as a teacher, we talk about that in the morning. We understand exactly what we're wanting to do, and then we can also reteach the expectations to the student. That's half of our job right there, is making sure that we are reteaching some of the stuff that we might have already taught the students. Must have full staff buy-in to be successful. Again, if you have 2 or 3 teachers that are very negative about the school improvement plan, pull them to the side and ask and get feedback. You know, like I said, not everybody's going to be on board, but we want everybody united and working towards the actual goal. Those 3 teachers' feedback might be crucial information that we need to maybe benefit something that they see that we don't. Don't ever exclude anybody's opinion. Their opinion can really help maybe mold or not shift, because these are set in stone goals, but they might bring something to the table that can be an eye-opening for the culture and community as well. And it's also never complete. That's the biggest thing, that our mission is never complete. We're always changing, okay? We're always looking to get the best information and move in the next direction, okay? Don't get too negative in your lows, and don't get too highs in your highs. We want to make sure that we're being even keel right there, and we're always looking for new innovative ways to help the students learn and to accomplish, again, our overall goal, which is a safe learning environment, our culture, and our climate at the school. Now, these are my 2 references. I used the book, and then I also used the Georgia School Report Card. My name is Charles Freeman, and thank you so much for listening to my presentation.